If all the world's a stage, then we all must work for Wells Fargo. Get it? Wells Fargo. And I don't work for them. I'm up here, I'm producing and directing this television show for my uncle. And I love doing it for a lot of reasons. But I guess lack of alternatives would be pretty close to the top. And speaking of pretty close to the top and lack of it, here's my aforementioned uncle, the star of the Red Green Show. Here he is, Mr. Red Green!
Thank you, Harold. Thank you. Welcome to Possum Lodge, where men are men and Harold is understudying. Show them what you can do with your tasteless gimmick machine there, Harold.
Oh, you mean my special effects axe? Just a little taste of Hollywood?
Hopefully not a lethal dose. Well, you should have been up at the lodge last night. A bunch of us were sitting around the wood stove talking about the differences between people and how irritating that can be. You know, we got some members here who have a big conniption over the least little thing, and then on the other end of the spectrum, you get somebody like old man Sedgwick who can stroll down to the dock with his pants on fire and check the temperature of the water before he jumps in the lake.
That's probably because he uses his pant cuffs as an ashtray. Why does he do that?
Well, I think on old man Sedgwick, the part from the ankles down is the smoking section. Anyway, we all have a squashed butt in our pants once in a while, don't we? But you know, it's kind of funny. If you're going to play a trick on somebody, you don't pick somebody who isn't going to get upset. You know, you go to the guy who's going to give you the biggest reaction. So it's kind of strange that the fellas who are the ones who don't want to be bothered at all are the ones that get bothered all the time. That's ironic, isn't it?
It's mean.
Same thing, Harold. I guess, you know, the two exceptions of that would have to be Helmut Wintergarten and Moose Thompson. Because these guys are huge, and when they get upset, they have a habit of ripping your head off and throwing it down the two-holer.
Well, with that visual fresh in our minds, why don't we just move on to the next segment? You know, unless, of course, you have a point to make.
Whereas when I get upset, I fire people.
You know, you can always take your time if you like.
Take us into the next segment there, would you, Harold?
Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Whatever you like, sir.
You know, Harold, I can remember the days when we'd catch so many fish on Possum Lake that the water level would drop 6 feet or better.
No way.
Oh.
That's no possible way that could happen, because then the fish would be in the boat with you, causing him to displace his own weight in water, resulting in a zero net change in the perceived volume of the lake. What do you say about that, Doc? What do you say about that?
Well, all I know is that the water level went down 8 feet.
You said 6.
I was just being conservative in case you questioned me. Now I say the hell with it. Anyway, the water level was down at least 10 feet. We came in on our boats and our prop cut all the water lines. And the fishing boat went right underneath the dock. Yep, all I got to show for it, of course, was a bump on the head and a face full of spiders, which I killed by slapping them with a speckled trout.
Sounds like quite a day.
Oh, golly.
My Robert Goulet albums are missing. All of them. Even the best of.
Well, that's good news. I'm just kidding, Ed. Bob Goulet's a friend of mine.
What did you do with them, Doc?
Me? I wouldn't touch old Bobo's albums. Heck, well, the Bobmeister and I, we're like brothers.
I know it was you, Doc. Last month you took my special clipper for unsightly nose and ear hairs, and you've always put down me and my showbiz aspirations. My Robert Goulet albums are missing. They're gone. They're just gone. Oh.
Is that a problem?
Why don't you just get old Doc there to send down to his friend Bobby Goulet? Maybe he'll send him up a set, huh? The old Bobo-meister, huh? Before the level in here sinks another 8 feet.
So, I hear there's been a theft.
My Robert Goulet albums.
Still, technically it is theft. Can you describe those stolen items?
Oh, I can. They're round, had a hole in the center, didn't they? Just slightly off center, a lot like Eddie here.
Do you have any suspects?
There's your man.
Eddie thinks I took the albums. We all know it was Elvis who did it.
Well, nobody's gonna treat me like a fool.
I would think of offering a reward if the recipient were willing to donate the money to the Possum Lake Little Theater Group, which I would start as soon as I received the money.
Hey, are you going to need a bodyguard or some sort of personal protection?
I don't think so.
He will if he goes ahead with that little theater thing.
I love seeing lipstick in various shades. From ruby red through purple into that light pink stuff that Joey Heatherson wore in her earlier days. The sight of lipstick makes my libido take action. Mind you, when Uncle Bob wears lipstick, I almost always have a completely different reaction, but still. This week on the Handyman Corner, we're going to show you what you can do with all those old hot water heaters you got sitting out on your front porch. I know it's kind of fun just to watch them rust out as the seasons come and go, but maybe there's something better that you could do for yourself, for your neighbor, and for all of mankind. Or just for yourself. You know. You ever looked at a hot water heater? I mean, really looked at one? Because when I look at this, I don't see a hot water heater. I see a 12,000 cup coffee maker. I see the world's most private phone booth. I see a lawn roller. I see a beer cooler. I see a dandy place to keep magnets. And more importantly, I see a project. Now you're going to need an egg beater, an aquarium, an oxygen tank, and a very understanding insurance agent. So I guess they're not laughing now, are they? We've built ourselves a one-man sub. Now, I left the top part off here. What you do now is take that aquarium that I mentioned and invert that, turn it over, and put her on here and make it sealed off with, say, silicone caulking or even duct tape, as long as it's watertight. If you don't have an aquarium, you could use one of those Pyrex roasting pans. It's your choice, really. So there you are, floating along that way down the bottom of the ocean floor, and you can propel yourself forward with manual power. Take a look at this. Okay, and then once in a while you go up periscope. Never really understood a periscope. And then when you want to rise to the surface, you just drop your ballast. And up you go. It's that simple. And I've got her mounted here on the launching ramp. You just slide this down into the water. But, of course, it's not going to go anywhere now because I got the wedges in place. But it's just that simple, and it's a lot of fun. I think you're going to really enjoy your hot water heater. So remember, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. I did remember to put those wedges in, didn't I? It is summer. I shall never see a sky so blue. I shall never see a cloud so white. I shall never see another day like it, because I looked into the sun with binoculars. Well, now we got Eddie in a real flap over his missing albums, and with Doc as a suspect, you never really know where you stand. It's not that Doc lies so much, it's just that he embellishes the truth to the point where it's unrecognizable. Kind of like buying a Hyundai Pony fully loaded. Mind you should never buy anything when you're fully loaded.
Well, not to worry, Uncle Red, because Noel's on the case. He's got all the private detective equipment he's going to need. He got it from the back of a comic book ad.
Noel's from the back of a comic book ad, Harold. Anyway, Noel's another guy who gets real upset, so adding him to the mix is kind of fun, too. You know. Old man Cedric now, he says he never touched the LPs, but he's offered a reward to anybody who steals the rest of them. Stinky Peterson says he doesn't think the records are going to turn up, but just to be on the safe side, he smashed the record player. So, of course, all these things are just bugging the crap out of Eddie, so I'm more or less in favor of them.
You know, Uncle Red, I find this all incredibly childish and irresponsible. That's my opinion.
Well, Harold, if you can't stay young, you can at least stay immature.
You know, I wonder if I'm ever going to be able to continue taking part in this lodge.
Don't tease me, Harold. Boy, it's always so much colder up this end of the lake.
Hello there.
It's me, Noel. Do I order fries through this thing, too?
You have 3 pieces of identification?
Well, I have my body. How many does that count for?
Please step 4 paces back from the door.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Oh, I did it. Just a second.
relatives?
Well, there has been a theft. Oh. There has been a theft, which means a thief walks amongst us. A little extra security would be a prudent response for everyone except for said thief, would it not?
Well, I'm gonna take my chances, Noel, okay?
That is a victim mentality. No wonder your life's a disaster. Me, if I'm confronted by the thief, that would make my day. You know, Red, I have the strength and training to reach right into a man's chest, rip his heart out, and hand it back to him before he dies.
Oh, God.
Oh, can you imagine that?
Oh.
That'd be sick. Oh, gooshing in your hand.
Oh.
Probably, I'd wear a glove, I guess. Starship entry number 406A. Reminder, wear a glove when you're doing that heart-ripping thing. Well, I'm ready for him. What's your plan?
Well, my plan is I don't have anything worth stealing. Kind of an ounce of prevention thing I do.
Ever see Double Impact?
No, no.
Good flick. Great flick.
Theater was crowded, wasn't it? Well, look, I come by because I want you to see if you could find what happened to Eddie's records. You know, you like searching around in garbage and stuff.
Light years ahead of you, Red. Item A, a letter. To Doc Render from a certain lady friend.
Where'd you find that?
Open his mail.
Oh, so you also have the training to reach into a man's mailbox and take his letter.
I had it warned.
Where is it?
Well, it's in my good pants. But I wrote the warrant myself. I have the authority. It's in the charter.
Well, I think you better get that back to Doc Render.
All in good time. This is potential evidence. There are several overt references to the golden era of musical comedy. I've got a theory here, Red. Doc stole those records, and he sent them as a gift to his pen pal in the Philippines. You want me to run that one down?
No, not really, no.
You're a sack of fat, right? You're soft. Mentally and physically, especially physically. Me? I'm a rock. Strong, free, like a rock. Grayed out. Well, I'll do the tough thing, and I'll phone that woman, and I'll find out your answer, and you probably won't even thank me.
Ah, you got that right, Noel.
That's why they say there's 1,000 Fred McMurrays for every one Clint Eastwood.
Well, from the neck up, anyway.
Oh, great.
Thank you, Bill. This week we're going to build a campfire, and one thing you should know is we're doing it where there have been a lot of pesticides. That didn't really occur to us at the moment. Oh, thank you again. But pesticides have been slaked into the ground pretty heavy there over the last 60, 70, 80 years or so. And seemed like a good place for us to build a campfire. Not going to burn any brush or anything. So we're just trying to get some kindling together here. Bill's using the saw. I don't have time for things like saws. I kind of like a real good axe. And look out there, Bill. Oh, okay. Breaks up the kindling and burns a lot better. And it's just nice to bash things around. Kind of a fun thing that I do. Used to do it. Oh, there she goes again. It's hard to stick anything into the ground because there's so much chemical in there. There's very little soil. So anyway, we got the big logs. Bill's gonna light her up there and get the match going. Come on, Bill. Come on. Hurry up. Bill, hurry up. Yeah, I still didn't get her going. But you know, we could feel heat coming off the fire, and it wasn't even going yet. And that's very peculiar. But here again, I guess what was happening was that, gosh, some of those pesticides and what have you apparently were flammable. And we were very confused at this point because we could feel the heat and we could smell smoke, but there wasn't any fire. Oh yes, there was. Yes, there was a fire there. Oh, I see. Yeah. But, you know, Bill always looks at the bright side, and then he figures this is going to save him a lot of money in matches. Just kept that. No, and then he thought maybe he should just put it out. You know, he's a trained firefighter, Bill is. I don't think that's how you put out a chemical fire, though, didn't. And then he got a good idea. If you can't get your wood to get on fire, you move your wood over to where the fire is. You know, Harold, I was going up and down the TV channels the other day. I saw that music video one they got there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Have you ever seen that before?
Well, yeah, I've seen it before, but, you know, I always thought there was something wrong with it. I mean, the pictures changes about 48 times a second. I thought maybe you needed a descrambler, you know.
Oh, Uncle Red, that's the way music videos are. Fast cutting, lots of images.
What do you mean?
How do you mean?
I mean, what do you mean? I mean, what's the point of it, you know?
Well, it's an art form, isn't it? You know, I directed my best friend's music video for his band, The Slugs of Attila. That's the band's name, right? They used to be called Gaping Chest Wound, but that guy left the group, right? So they had to...
Harold, don't explain that to me, okay?
Oh, okay. All right. But see, music videos have lots of images, right? See, that way, they contrast the lyrics, thusly adding hidden meanings and poignancy and women in underwear. That's a very important motif.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, I watched for about 20 minutes, and I can't remember one thing that I saw. You know, it looked like the camera was attached to one of them machines they use to shake up your paint at the hardware store.
Well, it was very easy to remember. Music videos only have 3 elements. 1, women with huge cleavages. 2, a guy standing in a pile of rubble singing. Or 3, it would be, and probably the most popular of all, people fighting. That's all you gotta remember is those 3. Unless, of course, it's a country and western. Then there's gonna be like a guy and a horse and a woman sitting on a fence, you know? If it's heavy metal, there's gonna be like a guy in a burned-out factory singing. That's where they do those. And of course, if it's rap, it's gonna be like in front of a brick wall, a guy yelling. That's how you tell the difference.
Well, the one I saw didn't have any horses, didn't have any shaking camera, didn't have any factories, okay? Had the women with the big cleavages, and it had a lot of men shouting and fighting.
Well, yeah, see, that's an opera.
Oh. So Eddie's torn the whole lodge apart, you know, looking for these missing albums, or at least I've been told. I don't see any difference. I guess you know, there's no harm done with this missing album business, but it has drawn a lot of attention to Bob Goulet, and that bothers me a little. Hopefully we'll get the whole mess straightened out at tonight's lodge meeting. We'd all hate to think we had a thief among us. We know we have a womanizer, a liar, 3 con artists, 2 bullies, and a tightwad.
I don't think that's a very respectful way to talk about your fellow lodge members.
Oh, yeah, and a socially challenged idiot. Thanks for reminding me, Harold. But, you know, a thief is something else, and surprising, considering we have nothing of any value up here at the lodge. I mean, other than the intangibles, you know, the friendships and petty jealousies and, I guess, the arm wrestling. You wouldn't want a thief to mess any of that up.
I don't get it, Uncle Red. How come, like, you know, you guys are always borrowing stuff from each other, then wrecking it, then returning it? You know, what's the big difference, really?
Big difference, Harold. I mean, number 1, you get it back when it's totaled. And number 2, you can then borrow something from that guy and mangle it, especially if you know it'll upset him.
Huh. There's so much to being a man that I have yet to really understand. Oh, there it is. That's the call of the meeting. Come on, Uncle Red, the day of reckoning. Let's get down there and find out what's going on.
Yeah, okay, Harold. We'll be able to probably straighten this album thing out pretty quickly, and then we can all get back to our normal lives, with the exception of Harold for obvious reasons.
All rise.
Sit down. Well, Simon Theodore seemed pretty anxious here. So, Eddie, find your albums?
That's not funny. We can prove that Doc stole them.
I didn't take them.
You took them, mister.
I didn't take them. Give it a rest.
What about this lady friend in the Philippines? Huh?
I don't have any lady friend in the Philippines, and I didn't take the stupid albums, huh?
I thought you'd say something like that. Yeah. Maybe Red would like to make a comment about that letter I showed you earlier today.
I sure would. That letter was none of Noel's damn business.
Hey! What's sauce for the goose, Red? Noel took that letter because Doc took my albums.
I did not.
Several lodge members saw you taking stuff out of Eddie's room last night. Huh?
I was borrowing a pillow. Can't you understand? Are you not listening? Huh? Read my lips. I did not take the albums.
We found an album cover under your bed.
All right, you're right. I took them. Sure. I took them.
And I even know why you took them. You took them because you wanted to make a gift.
I did not.
I say you did.
Well, I didn't.
I say you did.
All right, I did. Sure, you got me there. All right. Yeah, I took them because I wanted to make a gift for Eddie.
What?
Yeah, I wanted to make something for you out of the albums, Ed.
Oh, sure. Well, where is it?
Oh, well, I'm not exactly sure where the darn thing's gone to. Actually, it's right back here. I'll just...
Whoa, hey.
It's an hors d'oeuvre tray, Ed.
It's beautiful. I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that goes for all of us, Doc.
You know, I thought we could have a Bob Goulet theme dinner one night, you know? We'd fill the tray with chunks of ham, and we could all wear album covers with hats.
That's so thoughtful of you. I forgive you. Bob would have wanted to go this way, so people think I'm seeing.
Well, just before I lose my entire meal, maybe we should turn to the man of the hour here. Doc, why don't you get up and entertain us with one of your jokes, eh?
Okay.
What do you want?
Well, now, it seems it was this traveling salesman.
Well, now, that's one of the reasons I never lose faith in man's ability to solve his own problems. It's going to be a long time before Eddie realizes that was more of a gift to us than it was to him. Anyway, if my wife is watching, I'll be coming straight home after the meeting, and I think I figured out what it was I said at that party last week that got you so upset, and I'd like to take my third guess tonight. If I'm wrong, I'm going to have to go with a blanket apology covering the last 30 years, which I know you're getting real tired of hearing. So, until next time, on behalf of myself and Harold and the whole gang up here at Possum Lodge, keep your stick on the ice.
Anyway, he was putting indoor-outdoor into the Aga Khan's palace. Kind of a gift, I guess, whatever. And there I was, trying to whack carpet nails into solid down. Oh, that was a long, long trip, boy. 45 days, nothing but curried beef. Wow! Anyway, this traveling salesman's out in the country, and he's tired and sleepy, and he sees his farmhouse off in the distance. One of those lovely, Amish jobs, kind of a hip roof.